Hey folks, and welcome back to another episode of your Brains Coach podcast. My name is Shurina. I'm your host, I'm your Brains Coach, and just someone with a lot of passion, obsession, curiosity for learning and sharing all the brain and body tools to feel, look, and do our best. Today is Wednesday, folks. I hope you really loved our episode that we did on Monday with Claude Silver, Chief Heart Officer at Viner Media. And yes, there is such a position, Chief Heart Officer. And I believe in every area of our life, we need to live and lead more from the heart. And when it comes to leadership, that's what Claude Silver does at Viner Media. Leadership of people and leadership of human factor. There is nothing else you can do but to listen to your heart, to the energy of the person, of the moment, of everything, and learning how to make it better. And there is no must-do method or proven tip and tool that will work in every case. But if you're present to every moment in your life and to every moment when you're interacting with others, you'll find the solution and a way forward in any situation with any person. Of course, the other person always also has to want it, but that's not up to you to decide. But anyhow, besides that we all need a little bit more heart, not head often in our lives to make it through and make it better. We also do need our head to make things done, to get things done. So yesterday I had this crazy day that I had 3 calls. I needed to make content for the upcoming webinar. I started training with Flow Research Collective and high performance training. Folks, check out Flow Research Collective if you are into being your absolute best motherfucker. Sorry for swearing. I had that, and then also I found out that I had to move apartments. There was some water leakage in my apartment, and that was not negotiable. I had to move. And the internet in the apartment where I moved to didn't exactly work. And I found out about that when I got into the apartment. And then I had this homework from the training, 3-4 hours. And so I had to figure out how to make everything done and then also get my workout in and eat. I'm still a human being and have great night of sleep so I could continue performing at my best, or at least, optimal, given the situation the next day and the next day and the next day. And that is just how life very often is. Like, we plan things, but very often life does not go according to our plan. That's just how it is. Nothing wrong with the world around you or your universe or with you. It's nothing personal. It's just how the life is. And so I did everything that I needed to do. And I did additional studying at night. And I want to give you today how I approach productivity using all the tools that I learned from different books and authors and different training institutions, studies and research, how I approach productivity and getting things done to make progress on the important things. So I don't panic, but instead I take the situation as it is and I deal with that according to the next plan that I'm about to share with you. But first, folks, when the situations come up that we don't expect and we kind of don't want to deal with, like moving apartments or fixing your internet, first thing that will move us fast into the land of progress, not getting stuck, and into the energy of creation is stop complaining. You are not able to change what's already happened. The leakage is not changeable and the internet is not up to you. Now you ask yourself, how can I make this move, solving this problem process as fast as possible? And what is in my control? What is not in my control? And so okay, I'm just moving apartments on the same floor, and I'm not going to be packing anything because that's going to take additional step that is not really needed. So I have these 2 big bags full of groceries, and I'm just going to move my stuff around. My clothing on the hangers as it is, my groceries in bags, and then all of the rest stuff. And that process, when I stopped complaining and decided to just get on with that and figure out the fastest way, that process took me 40 minutes. One stuff from one apartment to another. I'm a digital nomad. Yeah, probably if you have a lot of stuff, it's going to take more time. But the point is, the faster you get from the complaining mode, thinking that something's going to change because you complained. No, nothing. We understand this. But stop complaining, start asking yourself a question. What is in my control? What can I do right now to figure out the situation as fast as possible? And what is also not in my control and I should not be frustrated about? Then, fixing the internet came, and the guys from the company were actually in the building. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, let's come in and fix my internet. And that happened really fast as well. So once we, again, and it was kind of really good timing because I stopped complaining really early and I decided to just move stuff in. And in the middle of the move, the guys came in, they fixed my internet, and everything was almost like flawless, like it was meant to be. But that's because I wasn't stuck in my head trying to figure out how to, not move or make the leakage, not so, the stuff that is not in my control. Why, very often we would get stuck in our own complaining, trying to change the situation in the past. That obviously is not possible. So stop complaining, get on with making progress. And of course, realize that there are other people, and be nice and ask what can be done, because some things can be done, some things cannot. And that's also okay. The next one. How I approach productivity. Now, the day was crazy already besides the moving. If you have a lot of things to get done, you might have kids, you might be new parent, you might get a new job, you might be moving. So many things can add load to your days. So the first thing I always start, what is my goal with all this stuff? And the reason why I'm asking myself this question is because the time is limited, and I'm going to talk about the time in a moment. And you cannot stretch it, and you can only have 24 hours a day, and you have to sleep, and you have to eat, and you have to move. You have to take care of your physical self to keep going without compromising your future. So what is the goal? This moment in my life for the next week, months, and year, what are a few important things that I absolutely must make progress on, and I decide those must. So for me, that's moving my career as a coach. For me, that's building my business. For me, that's of course maintaining my health and fitness. So I can thrive in the future instead of destroying myself, right? So building my business and developing myself as a coach. Those are important priorities, and that's why on my priority list, now back to the step number 2. Okay, now I have my priorities. So what has to be done today to make needed progress on those priorities? Okay, I need to take care of my clients. This is my work. Okay, the training, I committed to it. I want to grow. I need to grow as a coach if I want to progress. This is also non-negotiable. Okay, I want to grow my business, and because of that, I'm working right now on my sales skills and building webinars and other sales strategies and tools. Okay, these are also non-negotiables. And of course, now on top of that, I have to move and do all of this other stuff. Okay, now that I put together things that need to be taken care of, and some of them are obviously on schedule, they're meetings with other people, I now again talk to myself. I have only 24 hours a day. These are the hours I need to sleep. These are the hours I need to eat. These are minimum effective dose of exercise that I personally need to do, and self-care, so I can continue day after day after day. So I schedule those essential things. Again, 24 hours. Nobody is giving more. Not a president of US, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, I don't know, whoever you admire. We all have 24 hours a day. No matter what we manage in life, we have to work with this constraint, and we have to take into account the fact that we are human. And if you're interested in thriving long term, you need to put in the steps like good sleep, like exercise, like good food, like things like meditation and getting some sun, getting some movement, so you thrive long term, right? So I put those essential first, those human things first. Then I schedule the meetings with other people that have to happen on this specific day. And then for the rest of the projects, like creating content, like creating copy for my email that I need to send out to let people know that this is the event I'm doing, there are steps that I also need to take that have a little bit fluid time frame. And what I mean by that is, okay, creating content, you can create a piece of good content in an hour and less, or you can be editing your video for 2-3 hours, video that might not even work. So what is the minimum effective dose? What is the 80-20? What is a good enough version to test? Because all of the things that we do, it's a test. Again, I can create a video and I might love it and I put it out into the world and it sucked and nobody watches it. So the sooner you get to the test version of the product, of the video, of the copy, of anything that needs to kind of get approval from the outside world to succeed, right? This is the work I'm doing for other people, not for myself. Ship it as fast as possible. So I set the deadline. Okay, the content, no more than 1 hour for, all the stuff that I need to do to make it happen. Shooting and editing, etc. The copy, 30 minutes. People don't have time to read email that has several pages, not usually. And so get it done using the knowledge that you have. You have 30 minutes, go. And that is the 80-20 for that specific task. And then it's done. And then, some people ask, well, do you procrastinate? Do you have like a feeling that you don't want to do it? Folks, I made a video yesterday on Instagram. It all comes down to having a very, very strong desire of what you want from life. I want this year to grow. I want to grow my career. I want to grow my business. I got a little bit burned from my, non-inattentiveness to things that needed to be taken care of, like the business structure and setup and working on my sales skills. And the reason was, I think I was still expecting some miracle to happen. Like, oh, if I just put in more of what I'm doing, it will work out. Well, guess what, guys? Sometimes it just doesn't work and you have to change. And it took me a while to understand this. And now I got my kick in the butt and lesson. And the burning desire to change things and to grow and to create the abundance that I deserve, as I'm very committed to my work and quality of my work and my clients and people I interact with. I'm a very committed person and I'm not getting any success. And that's because systems did not work. And it took me too long to realize that I needed to relearn walking, literally walking in business. And now that I'm, okay with the fact, I'm taking baby steps, whatever it takes, but every day. And when it comes to procrastination, my desire to grow, to create the abundance, the life that I desire for myself and people I care about, like my family and friends, my desire is so huge and so front and center that there is no question about procrastination. Sometimes I'm asking myself, do I really need to eat? Or I can just work. I know it's not sustainable, but if there is a day like that in my week, then sometimes I do make the choice, realizing it's not sustainable. Angela, you gotta figure out a better schedule. But for today, it has to do. Like yesterday, didn't have good enough dinner to make time. Didn't have enough time to make good enough dinner, so just ate broccoli and Greek yogurt here and there, right? I understood it wasn't sustainable, but I also understood that, well, I had to move and fix the internet and it took time. It's okay. Not everyone, you will be moving. And that's on procrastination piece. When you have the clarity about what exactly you want and how strong you want it, There's going to be no procrastination. And also you got to have clear understanding. Okay, what are the steps that actually will move me forward? You kind of backcasting. What is the work that needs to be done? To grow as a coach, I need to be training with the best people. I need to be reading. I need to be researching. I need to be practicing what I'm preaching. I need to be working with people and get feedback to improve, to grow my business. I need to learn strategies. I need to put those strategies in place. I need to test and just do things as fast as possible, relearning things that I never learned actually, how to do proper sales, lead generation, etc. And I have a clarity around those things, and I want to make progress weekly and possibly daily. And so I have this clarity, and the rest of the stuff, like, I don't know, my dating life is kind of on hold now for the moment. I don't know, doing some crazy fitness stuff is on hold, doing additional reading besides work and business also on hold, or doing some cultural exploring also not so much, right? You compromise, but first you got to figure out what you want, what are the things that will take you there, and prioritize your time accordingly. And that's how I approach productivity. It all has to come through the filter of what it is you want, what's going to get you there. And that's why, they have coaches in different areas. That's why they have accountability groups. They have different circles for entrepreneurs or health or fitness. Because, you need help. Most of us need help with clarity, with goals, and we need help with just staying on track and somebody helping us to give us feedback. Are we moving forward? Are we moving backwards? Is there a better way to move forward? That's on the subject of, getting coaches, getting your training like I'm getting right now, getting feedback and getting better strategies from people who actually did what you're trying to do. So all of these things have to support the clarity of your goal, what it is you desire so much that you freaking want and will work your ass off and gonna do it no matter what it takes. I'm gonna break through all the discomforts, what it is you want that much. Once you figure it out, you're gonna have the same motivation as me, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Sarah Blakely, I don't know, whoever you admire. I don't know all the names. There are so many, Hormozes, etc. But it can be your dad, it can be your granddad who achieved, great things in anything. It doesn't even have to be business, but you get that burning desire and you will not. I'm sorry, my voice is cracking, talking too much in general. I got a sip of water. I'm going to stop rambling. So the first, you figure out the desire, the goal. You figure out great systems, action plan, usually with the help of other experts if you're newbie to this area or just never done it, right? You figure out the action steps. Then you make peace with the fact that you have only 24 hours every day and you want to keep going long term. So figure out how to take care of you, figure out how to take care of your priorities. And then don't forget the 80-20 principles. Most of the stuff you do, it has to do with the world. And you want to test your ideas and things you do as much, as fast, as often as possible to get feedback and improve based on that feedback, not on what's in your head, because that is very subjective. That is only based on your past experience and maybe the things that you heard and read. So always test it as much as possible. Get feedback from people, get feedback from the world. And just also leave a little bit of time for peace and space. Allow your best thinking to happen, and take also some time. Take also some time on the weekend to really create the space to get into a wider time frame and just wider frame of vision on your life, so you don't ever lose the sight of a bigger, more holistic picture of your life. But sometimes, again, you're out of balance because you need to move a certain area of your life and business forward. So I hope, guys, that this was useful. If you have any questions, if you'd like to talk about what's happening in your life, please find me on Instagram. I'm the most active there, Angela Brain Body Coach. That's my Instagram handle. And the second thing that I'd really love you to do, it would help this podcast. It would help people like myself, like you, most probably, who want to be better, who want to make better things in the world, who want to improve themselves and the world. It will help people to connect to like-minded people, all of us folks, and move forward and create a better life for yourself and for the world around you. So anyhow, connect the tribe, share this podcast whenever you can share it. It would mean a ton to my heart, and only from the heart. Talk to you very soon, guys. Until then, stay productive.